In a country as picturesque as Norway, even the travel between the two biggest cities is an experience in and of itself. Norway in a nutshell is the term used to describe taking the scenic route between Oslo and Bergen in either direction. They're at about the same latitude as each other, but around 200 miles of extremely mountainous terrain lie between them. Our first leg was a train to Voss with a bus to Gudvangen. We went west to east, starting in Bergen, after getting off the Fjord Cruise from Trondheim the previous day. One of the fun things about this trip is that it includes many different types of transportation. These first two were standard passenger train and public bus. I'll spare you most of the footage of those. It was early and dark out. One con of going around Christmas is definitely the shortest days of the year, but it's certainly pretty once the lights up outside. I definitely suggest buying tickets online for all these things beforehand, by the way. This was a very low season and yet still pretty crowded on the buses. I can only imagine what it looks like here in the summer. Gudvangen is a tiny little town that seems to exist just as this tourist transfer point. Normally you'd board a Fjord Cruise right on these docks, steps away from the bus. There's a pretty nice restaurant, a hotel, gift shop building here actually. I played around with the drone for a while, but when the time came, they actually told us that a recent avalanche meant that they had to bus us to another dock to actually get the boat, so we got on another bus. The Fjord Cruise, though, once we got on it, is a couple hours long, takes you through a scenic area on your way to the next town of Flam. This ship was way below its capacity and honestly extremely impressive. Clearly a lot of money in this operation because this thing was sweet. Maximized for unobstructed viewing both inside and outside, with a little cafe on board too. And they have more than one ship, as we saw at the landing dock when we got there too. The plan was to stay overnight in Flam before continuing on towards Oslo the next day. This is also a quaint little place geared towards tourism, and with it being the quiet season, was by far the most out-of-the-way stop on our trip. We had a half-day-ish to relax, and we wandered around the stores and gift shops. We did have one activity planned before dinner, though, a visit to the Floating Sauna. This is a little building the size of like a storage container floating attached to the docks. There's a changing room and a sauna room in there, and inside the sauna room is a trap door where you can dunk down into the fjord to cool off. The temperature of the air and water that day were pretty similar, in the 30s. That was super fun, highly recommended, and in what I assume is a pretty big departure from what would have been allowed in the US, you can also go outside and jump into the fjord, totally unsupervised, on your own too. Off the roof also, pitch black, freezing cold, have a buddy. Before pick, we're nice and warm and hot, and now I'm gonna go jump in the fjord, and we're gonna see what happens, because you might not be able to see anything. Okay.
The guy, how's he supposed to rescue you?
Can you see anything? Danny's in charge of rescuing me if I go into shock.
No, the guy's gone. I don't know how to.
She's gonna do it.
Don't do anything.
Don't trust her.
risky.
I'm steaming. Can you see me steaming? I'm creating my own steam. I'm gonna do it now before I get too cold and chicken out. This sauna is really cool. There's a giant window here. You probably couldn't have seen it from the inside, but... Whew. Oh my god, it's slippery and cold as crap. Woo! Woo! Oh boy! Ah! I'm remembering. I'm blazing it into my memory. There's a video. I'm in the water. I'm dying. Oh god. Oh. Oh. Extremities.
Don't touch me.
Extremities. Not many choices for dinner in town, and we went to the hotel's restaurant, but that didn't stop it from maybe being my favorite dinner of the trip. This is a microbrewery. It's themed like a Viking longhouse. Very cool. I got a flight of dishes paired with a flight of beers. Delicious. Continuing the journey in the morning is maybe the biggest claim to fame of Flam, the Flam Railway. There's a free museum in town that we checked out before boarding, which describes the process of building the railway and the different uses over the years. I like the room with the full-size and model trains personally. This is a roughly hour-long scenic journey through the mountains to connect you back up with the main Bergen and Oslo train corridor. This stretch is known for being one of the most beautiful in the world, and they have an automated tour guide of sorts playing over the loudspeakers to call out points of interest as you pass, one of which you even briefly stop at and can go out and take pictures. Since it was winter, this waterfall wasn't quite moving like it does at other times of the year, but it's still cool to walk around. In addition to it being one of the steepest normal track lines in the world, too, it has 20 tunnels, most of them previously excavated by hand. Whew. Got about an hour and change here at Myrdal, Norway, standing on the platform where, in the winter at least, we're literally not able to leave the platform at all to transfer between our trains. But I did just talk to that woman back there who apparently lives here, and she was saying that she has to cross the steps to go down the staircase over there. And when I commented that it's snowy and she's treading through a lot of snow, she said sometimes she can't even see the staircase, and so she just slides down it on her butt. This was pretty in the snow, very Norway. We got our train to Oslo from here for another 4 or 5 hours, I think it was. Also a scenic journey, but the sun went down during that one. In general, I liked this Norway in a nutshell detour, but it's definitely a lot of transportation. If you're cool enjoying the scenery out the windows and like trains and whatnot, I'd definitely recommend it. You could even stay longer in the middle pieces if you wanted to. Check out my other Norway videos in the playlist, and please do subscribe. Thanks for watching.